Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 124 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. Let's start with the progress report. According to Jeeves Asset, my net worth plus that of the corporation is now at 302 billion ISK. So that's pretty much exactly the same as last week, which is weird because honestly, I expected like 10x net worth dropped in value, but I didn't lose anything this week, and I actually ratted for my liquid ISK is about 700 mil more than last week. So again, it's fluctuation in asset price. So at that point, it's hard to say exactly what's good, like why it's not increasing. I expected this week to be like a plus 4 or 5 bill, but I'm guessing like announcement, maybe I've changed some prices on capital and stuff like that and resources, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. My liquid ISK is bigger than last week, so that's what counts for me. So that's pretty much it. Not much to say on the financial side. HR. Where's the book here? We are now at 462 members, so that's a plus 5 compared to last week. There is some new faces in the corporation. We activity number, we're hovering around between 60 70, so that's like it peaked at 67 sometime during this week, so it's hovering between 60 and 70. Again, we haven't fully recovered from the Elden Ring slash the Elden, I will call it the Elden Ring drop. Again, not if you compare to the overall Eve number of player, we I think right now the game is at an all-time low. Right. Go in the 5-year one, you can see that it's really dropping. I don't know if it's the patch, I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but I mean, for us in WOMP, we are having, we're still holding on and grow. Well, I would say our number are holding and we're able to feel the same number of player, but it is not as active as our big prime. But again, we're holding and we're still trying to make the best of what we got. Again, I can't change the state of the game. I can only do what I can do for my corp, and right now we're in a good place. And for me personally, I'm playing a little bit more. Unfortunately, usually later, and our corp is, I would say, about 2/3 euro or like at least 2/3 euro time and 1/3 USTZ. So it does seem in our USTZ number that we are a little bit lower. But again, stuff goes. As long as the people that are there are playing, having fun, that's what's important. So hopefully this improve. Hopefully, actually CCP turn this around and find some way to make people log back in. So anyway, that's it for HR. War, geopolitical, and stuff like that. Here I'll show you a little map that I made of the area. We'll see how it pan. So what I did here is I pasted together 3 region: Catch, where the WOM constellation is located, and you got the Immensia here, which is where the home of the Ti.Re coalition, and Tenerife, which is also home of Ti.Re coalition for now. So in WOM space here, what you can see, and you'll see it's different on, it's already changed. I mean, this is a copy from Dotlan. It's already changed, but here in the general area, when I say, I think it's easier to see like this, when we say we're on the front line, is because the main group that we were fighting is Ti.Re. Ti.Re is at Tenerife and an Immensia part of Fire, which so I don't know what exactly their relationship is. They're like sister coalition, I would say, or something like that. Anyway, so we're mostly for us Wrecking Crew. You got Sigma, Purple Helmet Warrior, Iroko is not there, Rogue, and Womp. We're fighting against Tired regularly, so you got Black Rose already replaced, Celestial Empire, Legion of Death, which is their fire proper, Cosmic Accord, Game Theory, and Flying Dangerous, and Lollipop Monopoly. So regularly we were fighting, and they tried to invade, or at least to break into catch for about as long as we've been here. I got message from some of their CEO trying to flip Womp. I got like they refed and toasted some system in some station and some system in Womp space multiple time. At least we fought off at least 6-7 toast attempt. 4 or 5 time ref on one of our station. They never managed to break into catch, but they were still pushing often enough. So for us, it was regular content stuff coming in, stuff to shoot. But what you can see in the generalized game is that Fire and Ti.Re have been hit hard. We'll show it here. They have been hit hard in Fatabolis. So Fatabolis has completely flipped. So they used to own the entire region. Am I blind? Yeah, okay. Fatabolis here. So this entire region here flipped, was taken over by Imperium. So that was all Ti.Re coalition, Fire coalition, sorry, and the Imperium managed to take it all. And then what happened this week is they started pushing into Tenerife's. One thing that happened is this entire constellation, which used to be Lollipop Monopoly, as you see when I did this map here, has been flipped to Dracarys. What I heard from the Ti.Re, the State of the Alliance, because yeah, we do listen to their State of the Alliance. So what I've heard is that they an officer from Lollipop actually was a turned traitor and joined Dracarys. And I think he flipped station. I'm not sure. It wasn't clear what he did exactly, but I think he flipped station. But anyway, over the week, Dracarys, which is Imperium, managed to grab all their place here. Dracarys here is Womp neighbor. We are not allied with Dracarys, but we do have a non-aggression pact with them. That's the only group in the Imperium that we don't fight, because basically we didn't want to have a two-front war, and they didn't want to be harassed either. So it just was a win-win for us to say, okay, we're just not gonna fight with each other here. The rest of the Imperium group, mostly initiative goons, we don't have any formal treaty with them. But here, and it's not at the Wrecking Crew level. It's really just Womp and Dracarys, not the rest of the group. So anyway, the fact that Dracarys is taking over here, for us, I mean, I don't see that as a negative point for me. I mean, it's the people we're fighting are getting hit, so good for me. The amount of time they came and hit us, I can't say I feel very sorry for Fire to be rolled over by Imperium, but whatever. Now, what we did this week was running harassment. At one point here, that Black Rose High Hub fell. It was destroyed, and Esport Petopia managed to grab that High Hub, and we did some toasting and some reffing here. just to keep the pressure on them and for a little payback for all the time they came and did it to us. So that's kind of what we did this week. But there was no big organized fleet battle where we got involved. So it was mostly small gang stuff, like a small group going in, trying to ref something, bailing out if there was too much, to a bigger group coming in. So that type of thing. So we were running harassment, hunting ratters, basically like small gang stuff, pretty much all week. And that's it. That's the current situation. So right now you got this entire lollipop constellation has been taken over by Dracarys. I don't know if they have any goal of pushing still further into Tenerife or into Imencia, but we'll see. We'll see how the next week goes. But at least right now, it is pretty interesting. Stuff are moving. We do know that like again, seeing from Discord post and stuff like that, you do know that they are starting to feel the pressure on the fire tired side, mostly mostly because of the amount of timer that are being created by Imperium down south. So we'll see how it goes. Other big news in the event, I've heard that one corp from Test switched over to Severance. I told you before, Severance is like one of the larger corp in Fire, and they were kind of shrinking in size. Again, my Ti.Re is constant pinging with no result for a tier guy. So at some point it tired or guide out. But anyway, there's one corp that jumped from Severance to from Test to Severance. So it's kind of escaping the Titanic to join the Hindenburg, but to board the Hindenburg. But anyway, that's my opinion. So I'm guessing probably, I mean, they still do have players, so probably some people are having fun in there, but whatever. I mean, I can't give you a non-BA's opinion because I'm fighting these guys on a day-to-day basis. So you need to hear both sides to make an informed decision on your end. So anyway, that's pretty much the current geopolitical situation. So lots of small gang stuff, but no big engagement. Again, the threat of the Horde bat phone is what's keeping us from doing some real organized push. Will we do it at some point? Probably, but as you see, when it's really at this level, it's really a game of who's going to show up and what timer are important and who will you bring. So I would say that 1v1 wrecking crew against Ti.Re, we would win because of the amount. Against Fire, it's probably even depending on the time zone. Against Fire plus Horde, then we're outnumbered. So really depends. So against Fire plus Horde, we probably want the defensive battle. So it's hard to say. Again, I'm just like saying it as I'm thinking it, but so just anyway, that's how I'm reflecting on the situation right now. Also, what else do I still have? Other stuff to tell you. Yeah, so anyway, I don't have any big stuff to kill. We did get some juicy kill though. There was at one time they reft a jump bridge and we were formed up to take the fight, but they didn't show up for a jump bridge, but they did fly a Varger into catch to try to pick up lone people while we had an entire fleet formed up. So we dropped 50 Typhoon on that one Varger, which died. So I just wanted to talk about that one because that's one of the fun thing that happened this week. The other big thing I wanted to talk about was Siege Green. I did tell you last week that I don't really like where they are going with Siege Green. Having the medium structure go to one timer, and I still strongly believe that this is going to hurt the game. It will address one large nullsec problem at the cost of making life harder for wormholer, making life harder for smaller corp that for who a single station is their home and the only thing they got. I remember, like, again, I feel very strongly about this because, like, look back in the series when we were in Avenger, when we were in Becky, we would never have we would never have crossed that line with the new patch, with the Siege Green as they want to implement it. We would never have been able to grow because it just would have been, I mean, it's just going to be so easy. Even for an ISEC group that's starting out, you will get what you will get. One war deck, your structure is out before the end of the week. So one war deck, you're reft, you're dead after. It's just, you don't have time to organize the defense. You don't have time to actually play the Diplo game. And all of that just to make it harder to glass space in nullsec, because I do agree that some of the Sov war and the nullsec war is annoying. Clearing structure spam is annoying, but I think that the way they're doing it is not a good solution. And I was always told, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So we did discuss in Corp a little bit, like, how could you fix the structure spam? And this is just an idea, but stuff that we were brainstorming, and a little bit of what I thought that would be like, how could you fix the structure spam, given priority to content generating gameplay over harassment, because harassment is going to be a real problem now, and providing some limitation to the domination of larger group over smaller one. And here is my suggestion, what I would do if I was there. And this might not seem to be just related to structure, but anyway, that's the package I would do. So I would actually merge iHub and TCU. So call it Territorial Control Hub, like CHUB, so for sure. So have your weekly bill increased regularly. So holding a system should cost more, but should be reduced by ADM to avoid people hoarding space, taking space that they are not actually using. So your weekly bill should be reduced by the ADM, but overall increase. And add those chub to the other types of space, wormhole, low, ISEC, and then tie the max structure in system to the control of the space. So basically, only the holder of the system can anchor, and have a maximum number of structure in system based on your strategic level. So you would need to actually hold the TC hub to be able to anchor a structure, and you could have a maximum of one per strategic level. So you would actually need to hold the system for an entire week before you're able to anchor a first structure. And then when you get to strat level 2, you would be able to anchor a second structure. You would cap at 5 structure in a system, so no more system with 20 station. So that would actually limit the structure spam a lot, because you would need to hold the system for an entire month and more to be able to have those 5 structure. So can somebody be entrenched in their homeland, which they held for a while? Yeah, sure. But I mean, that's normal. They have been holding that space for a while. But could you be able to just like grab some space and anchor a bunch of structure? No. So it would, I think, create a more strategic gameplay on that point. And again, what I would do is I would require an upgrade to actually be able to raise that number. So it's not just strategic level, and you have to add an upgrade. And if you lose the structure, you actually lose a strategic level. So shooting down structure would reduce the ADM. So that way you could have a strategy of destroying the structure to lower the ADM to actually make it easier to toast the system. And what I would do is only structure that are owned by the sov holder keep their 3 timer. So if you lose the sov, then you go down to 2 timer. So if somebody come in, manage to toast your system while not shooting your station, let's say you have 5 stations in system, somebody come in, toast your system, manage to win the sov battle, you lose your shield. Then you only have 2 timer, you only have armor and hull. So that would make, after you grab the space, that would make clearing the rest of the structure easier. So it would be a way to, so you would have basically 2 strategies to grab a system. Is you either clean the structure to lower the ADM to make it easier to toast, or you come in, go hard, toast, win the soft battle, and then you could clear the structure. But at least it would allow for some entrenchment bonus, I would say, for people that are actually using their space and have been there for a long time. So that's the dynamic I would do. And I would add one type of structure, which is basically a bridgehead structure that is a temp structure that you can anchor and automatic only while the system is refed, and would disappear when the system come out of reinforcement. So when somebody win or lose the soft battle, that structure would self-destruct. So that's basically just a temporary structure to be able, so when you do want to invade somewhere, you could just anchor that and have a local dock up and be able to fight that soft battle. But it would only last for the entire soft battle. So you couldn't use that long term. So anyway, that's my suggestion, and that's just one way. There's a lot of other way that you could do that would be more interesting, I think, than just putting it down to 1 timer. Again, the people that are going to suffer the most from that are wormhole group, like smaller group, wormhole group, industrial heavy group, which need a lot of structure with rigs and have to spread around. So now the thing is, you will have to cancel production job often, because refing production station is gonna be you'll want to save your blueprint, you'll want to save, so I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But I personally do feel that if they think that putting it like implementing it like this will actually turn the number of people around, and I could be wrong. I mean, I'm just one guy in Eve showing my perspective of somebody that's been new for a little while. But I can't say I'm new anymore. I've been playing that game for 2 years, but I still remember what it's like to start in a game where there's a big established player base and you're trying to make it, and you can't have mechanics that are pulling the ladder and keeping the people, the new blood from actually fighting it out. And when you're starting out, when you're not rich, as medium structure is probably all you're gonna get. You're gonna start there at some point. So if you put these small ohm of a lot of player in game, you turn them into paper thin disposable structure, I think that it's gonna hurt the game more. For WOMP, what we are gonna do is we're gonna start slowly turning all our structure into large one. That's the way we're gonna fight it. We are gonna start on anchoring, or if we lose them, but we're gonna start flipping over structure to larger one because we can afford it, because we're a more established group. But that's not the case of all the group here. So like we're a medium-sized alliance, I would say. We're not the big boy, but we're large enough to be able to we do have some resources, so we're able to stuff like that. And so it's going to be like one of our core project to actually flip it around, start to move to larger asset. So anyway, that's me rambling for now. Do I have other stuff to tell you? You see me in a retry now. I am trying to start to play with laser a little bit, just to do something else in game. I'm now at, I think, 74 million skill point. Training torpedo 5 to get the polarized torpedo. 3 days till I get them. I could inject them, or not inject them, but use skill point. But whatever. I'm not in a hurry. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and any comment, feel free, like, subscribe, and whatever else I'm supposed to tell you, and see you next week. Bye bye.